Recording, being recorded. Yes. Okay.
I don't see
All
where it
right.
says that, but do you?
I saw it said we were recording.
Thank you.
Okay. Welcome everyone to another Lord Meher reading. We're in the year 1947, and we're in April of 1947, and we're going to pick up exactly where we left off. We were on page 2577, and I'll start the reading today. On 18th of April, 1947, 18 poor people from a nearby village were brought up the hill. Baba washed the feet of each person, bowed to them, and handed them each 10 rupees. The weather was terrible during Baba's seclusion on the hill at Purandar. It rained continuously with fierce winds due to a cyclone which was lashing the west coast of India concurrently with Baba's seclusion. On the 19th, Baba with the Mandali, the Must Ali Shah, and two boys departed for Randar at noon for Uttara near Satara, staying for one night in the Dak bungalow there. Now, if you click on that little mark, Marilyn, a footnote will open up.
Oh, yes.
And if you can read it, because I don't see it.
Lord Meher, page 2577, footnote. Uttara is where 9 years later, Baba was severely injured in an automobile accident in 1956.
Yes, I thought that was where. Okay. Sarosh, Ramju, and Adi Sr. came there to discuss Melu and Falu's future plans with Baba. The next day, Sarosh rented Dune Cottage in Satara, and Baba and everyone moved there. During the 5-day stay in Dune Cottage, Baba visited one of Shivaji's forts, Ajinkaya Tara, 2 times, where he worked with Ali Shah. Baba visited another fort connected with Shivaji in the area, where he again sat in seclusion with Ali Shah. On the 24th of April, Padre was called from Mehrabad, and Pendu was sent back. Padre, Baidul, and Erich kept strict watch whenever Baba worked with Ali Shah. 2 days later, on the 26th, Baba and the group left Satara for Mahabaleshwar.
I just raised it a
I
little bit.
got it. I got it. Okay. Oh, my screen just. Okay. 2 days later, on the 25th, Baba and the group left Satara for Mahabaleshwar, where
The
Baba resumed
26th.
26, right? Where Baba resumed his musk work. Baidul would venture out, locate musks, and bring them back to the Aga Khan Palace, where Baba worked with them. Adi Sr. came to see Baba on the 30th in a specially arranged bus from Pune. With him were the Jaswala family, and from Bombay, Nariman, Kakabaria, and Ali Akbar, Alaba. Everyone except the Jaswalas returned the same day. On Tuesday, 6th May 1947, Baba again went to Purandar, this time with Mera, Mani, and Meru. Don and Papa accompanied them, and Erich and Nilu arrived later, as did Erich's sisters and Gaimai. Baba showed the women the Purandar fort and the place where he had sat in seclusion. He returned to Mahabaleshwar on the 8th. 2 days later, on the 10th, Adi Sr. was called to Mahabaleshwar with Vishnu, Nilu, Erich, Jalbai, and his niece Gulnar. After lunch on Sunday, 11th May, Baba left again by car with Adi, Erich, Jalbai for Muswar. He visited Satara, Kolhapur, Balgam, Nipani, and other towns, and at each place contacted various musts.
Uh,
Click on that arrow. Yes, that's the one. Baba also went to see a bungalow in Satara, since he intended to shift his headquarters there in the near future. Sarosh met them there on the 11th and arranged to rent it. Soon after, they left for Belgaum, where Vishwanath Haldankar had been instructed to look for bungalows. Baba returned to Mahabaleshwar on the 16th. Penda was ordered to bring furniture to Satara from Meherbad and did so 2 days later. Meanwhile, in Baba's absence, Upper Meherbad had been vandalized. A gang of thieves had broken into the tomb, displaced files, books, and Baba's mattress, and had also broken into his tin cabin. Baba sent Pendu a letter on 20 May ordering him to increase the number of night watchmen on the hill, and added, if anything again happens on the hill, Meherbad will be doomed. Dr. Ghani was staying with Baba in Mahabaleshwar. He was joking with Baba on 22nd May, and when he said something in a lighter vein about Baba, Baba at once composed this rhyme about himself, titled later, Baba is Fire. And scroll down a little.
okay.
When you feel cold and sit near the fire, it drives out your cold and makes you perspire. When you feel hungry and cook on the fire, it gives you your food for which you aspire. But if you like a fool, try to play with the fire, it may burn you so badly that would make hell admire. Over the years, much that Baba revealed about spirituality is owed to Dr. Ghani. It was because of Ghani that so many interesting explanations came from the master. Whenever Ghani was eager to hear a discourse or explanation from Baba, he would say something in jest or somewhat sarcastically to goad Baba into giving a talk, producing such gems as the poem above. Scroll. Ghani's nephew, Sheikh Abdul Rashid, 16, had met Baba when Baba was visiting Lonavala in 1938. Rashid's mother died in 1947, and Ghani informed Baba, who called the boy to Mahabaleshwar to discuss his future. Baba took the young man under his wing, and Rashid was sent to live at Meherbad, where he remained for 2 years under Baba's personal supervision and in intimate contact with the Mandali.
Oh, is that okay?
Oh, nice picture.
Is that the right page?
Yeah, just, slowly scroll down. You could stop and look at that a little bit.
Chapter 18, Final Must Work. Prelude to
Real
Thunder.
clear picture. Yeah, very nice picture. I don't think I've ever seen that one or remember seeing it.
Well, it says chapter 18, Final Must Work. Prelude to Thunder. And then below it, you want to read what it says?
Yeah, I think this is where the text picks back up.
Okay, that is a beauty, real beautiful. And I've never seen that jacket, I don't think. But anyway, Jay Baba.
Okay.
I'll scroll up, so we'll have to let Baba go up there now. All right.
Okay, I had to plug in a charger, but I'm back. Okay, the one Badur.
Motula.
Murta's bungalow in Satara had been rented for Baba and the women Mandali. Burke's bungalow was acquired for the men, Rosewood bungalow for the musts, and Rajguru bungalow for Don and Ghani. Baba arrived in Satara on Sunday, the 25th of May in 1947. Don began writing his book, The Wayfarers, in Satara after collecting much information, and Dr. Ghani was engaged in elaborating points given by Baba to appear in another publication. That was to be God Speaks, I believe. Read the footnote.
Okay, Lord Meher, page 2579, footnote. The point later appeared in the supplement of God Speaks.
Mm-hmm. Among the women with Baba at this time were Mera Mani, Meru Naja, Rano and Katie Khorshed Sudamasi, and Indu Holdankar. Among the men Mandali were Baidul Dan, Erich Ghani, Gustaji Kaka, Nilu Vishnu, and Krishna Nair, who rejoined Baba in Satara. The rest of the Mandali were staying at Mehrabad. Baba would sometimes call Padri, Pendu, and Adi Sr. to Satara for work, as well as others. Baba sent instructions to several disciples to bring musk from various parts of India. However, as in the case of the Mahabaleshwar ashram, not one could be found and brought in time. Therefore, on 27 May, Sidhu and Kalamama were told to bring Ali Shah to Satara, and they arrived the next day, driven by Sarosh. Kakabaria arrived on June 1st, as did Adi Sr. and Gulmai, who was to stay with the women in Satara for
Whoops.
no, it's because whenever the screen moves, my screen changes
Sorry.
to the far view, and then I got to zoom in again. Okay.
Just
So they were stay with the women for some weeks. Baba had been waiting for Adi Sr. since 10 that morning. Baba told Sidhu that the instant they arrived, he should immediately send Adi to him. They came at 2 p.m., and as soon as Sidhu saw Adi, he delivered Baba's message. But Adi was hungry, and instead of going to Baba, he sat down to have lunch. At that moment, Baba appeared and blamed Sidhu. Sidhu insisted he had given Adi the message. So Baba retorted, "Why didn't you catch the pig and bring him to me?" While Baba was reprimanding Sidhu, Adi calmly continued his meal. Turning to him, Baba asked, "Why are you eating like a pig?" Without replying, Adi went on eating. Baba ordered, "Throw your plate away." Adi did it. "Smash it." This too, Adi did. Baba then asked, "Why did you break the plate?" "You told me to," Adi snapped. "When you're obeying me now, why didn't you obey me in the beginning and come to me at once?" "Forgive me, I was so hungry," Adi said. "I was starving." Baba broke into a smile and gestured to Adi to finish his meal.
How's he going to finish the meal if he threw the
Yeah,
food?
I was wondering.
I don't get it.
Maybe Baba expected to eat it off the ground. I don't know. Well, Marilyn, you want to read for a while?
Okay, unless Ralph.
I can read too, you guys. I can read.
Go ahead,
I
Ralph.
Ralph, pick it up.
Final must work, Prelude to Thunder. On Sunday, 3rd June 1947, Baidul succeeded in bringing the great seventh plain Marjub, Cha-Cha, to Satara. Upon his arrival, Baba was very happy and remarked, "Cha-Cha alone is worth 100 musks." It is a marvelous tale how Baidul managed to bring Cha-Cha from Ajmer, where the Mahjub had hundreds of devotees of his own who would never allow him to leave. At the end of May, Baidul had gone to Ajmer to try to coax the Mahjub to come with him, but had no luck. A pilgrimage festival was being held at the time near Monujan Chisti's tomb, and many devotees had gone to attend it, leaving Cha-Cha relatively alone. In the night of 31 May, after hours of ineffectual pleading, Baidul grasped the Mahjub's hand to lead him away, and to his surprise, Cha-Cha rose and followed. They climbed into a tanga, but to avoid being recognized, Baidul later hired a taxi to drive them 30 miles away to an out-of-the-way station, where they boarded a train for Bombay. Had Baidul taken the Mahjub to Ajmer station, the local people would have recognized Cha-Cha and prevented Baidul from spiriting him away. From Pune, they journeyed by bus. In Satara, Baba began working separately with Cha-Cha and Ali Shah, always alone in seclusion for fixed hours every day. Baba would feed and care for both of them by himself and spend most of the day with these two great souls. Cha-Cha loved to drink tea, and to satisfy his whim, a large kettle was always kept brewing. One day, Baba gave Cha-Cha a cup of tea. Cha-Cha took a little, spilled half on himself, and gave the rest to Baba to drink. Baba drank it, and Cha-Cha called for more tea. Another cup was brought, which he touched to his lips, and then gave to Baba to consume. And again, Cha-Cha asked for more. He did this several times, and each time Baba placated him by accepting the brew. But Cha-Cha kept saying, "Cha, cha." So Baba began offering him empty cups. Cha-Cha would touch each cup to his lips and hand it back to Baba, who would pretend to drink the tea. This went on for over an hour. As a divine Mahjub, Cha-Cha was completely devoid of normal human consciousness. He had achieved godhood, infinite consciousness, and was dead to his body and the world. Would someone care to take up the reading for a little bit?
You can continue if you like.
Sure. Or okay, I'll do this page, and then
Okay.
someone take it.
Okay.
However, as much as Baba tried to persuade him, Cha-Cha refused to allow himself to be bathed at Satara. Only after weeks did Baba convince him to allow his filthy clothes to be removed and new ones put on him. Baba explained, "The clothes and odds and ends that a must keeps by him or on his person have some inner significance. It is for this reason they cling so obstinately to them." Baba's work with the musk was, more often than not, physically exhausting. After sitting for an hour or two with Cha-Cha, Baba would emerge from the tiny room, his face pale and tired, his clothes drenched in perspiration. Besides Ali Shah and Cha-Cha, Minu Karas brought 3 musks from Karachi to Satara on Friday, the 13th of June, 1947. Oh boy, Friday the 13th. They were not particularly outstanding, and Baba kept them for only 2 days. Baba bathed and fed them, and then sent them back with Minu on the evening of the 14th. Deshmukh was also in Satara for a visit at this time, far out.
And there's the two great musts, Chacha and Ali Shah.
Hmm.
Now that the war had ended, 47. Now that the war had ended, instead of himself journeying to the west, Baba had called certain of his western lovers back to India. He was anxious that Pendu finish the work of Nadine Tolstoy's tomb before Norina and Elizabeth arrived. Even after her worldly departure, Nadine was still being remembered by her beloved on the 13th of June. Baba sent a letter to Pendu to have these words carved on her headstone. Nadine Tolstoy, her happiness was Baba. Dr. Goher had been an occasional visitor, but she joined the ashram permanently on 19th of June. Adi Sr., Meherji, lost my place.
Sorry,
Oh, it's all right.
I was trying to lift it.
Here it comes. Adi Sr., Meherji, and Nariman all had interviews that day with Baba. All right, we got 3 dots. That means it's
Take a deep breath.
Maryland's.
It
Yeah.
means you take a deep breath.
Ralph, you want to finish the page or no?
Oh, we're still on the page. My gosh.
Yeah, yeah.
Meanwhile, throughout the entire month of June, Baba continued to work with Chacha and Ali Shah. Manik Mehta was granted an interview on the 25th. He complained about Baba's Mandali not being cooperative with him in his plans for developing his Bombay group. Baba explained to Manik Mehta, my Mandali may have their weaknesses, but fundamentally, they are prepared to obey me 100%. Erich, for example, if ordered, would even go and kill his father. The members of your Mandali are ill prepared to obey me implicitly. The members of your Mandali are ill prepared to obey me implicitly. I am more concerned with your obedience and faith than in that of your Jap Mandal.
What does the Jap Mandal mean, I wonder?
I guess that's kind of like Bhajan Mandali.
Hmm.
It sounds like it. Jap Mandal. Or
Yeah.
maybe they do singing, maybe they do
Yeah, I
chanting.
think.
I
Yeah,
get it.
even the way it says the members of your mandali, I think that just means his companions, his Baba group.
He Baba's talking
Yeah.
to Manik Mehta like the group are his Mandali, right?
Right.
Yes.
Get
Okay.
the pronouns, got to get the pronouns pegged down. All right. On Thursday, 10 July 1947, having finished his work of 40 days with Cha-Cha, Baba sent Cha-Cha back to Ajmer with Baidul, Pendu, Adi Sr., and Waman Padali. I'm not sure how, okay.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. And Waman Padal had come to Satara to receive instructions from Baba. There's a note.
Just
Okay.
go right to the text. Never mind the page.
Oh,
I'll tell you what it says here.
okay.
Wahan Padal was a young man employed to assist Adi in his office and in driving. That's
He
all.
was well regarded by people there at, at Mayor Nasser and the Mandli. Bahadul and the Maju rode with them to Pune, Cha-Cha vomiting the entire way, and then to Bombay, where Bahadul and Cha-Cha boarded a train for Ajmer.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. Next. Thank you, Ralph. Every time I go to the next page, it says something like, this upload is not working. And it's a big black screen. And then it comes up to the next page. Thank goodness. So I'll continue. All right, Ralph?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
2582, Final Must Work, Prelude to Thunder, 1947. According to Baba's instructions in 1947, the 22nd anniversary of his silence was observed by his lovers throughout the world by fasting for 24 hours. The 22nd anniversary. Okay. They fasted from 7 a.m. on the 10th of July to 7 a.m. of the 11th, taking only tea twice during that period and remembering the Master all the more that day. But the one who perhaps remembered Baba the most intensely was Ramju. It was difficult for him to skip a meal, much less fast an entire day, and he was very agitated that silence day in Satara. On the morning of the 11th, he was already standing with his plate in his hand at 6:30 a.m., counting every minute. And at 7 o'clock, before putting the first morsel of food in his mouth, Ramju prayed to Baba, "Never make us fast again." Norina and Elizabeth landed in Bombay from America on 12th July 1947 on a TWA flight. Elizabeth had brought the dog Foundy back to India. She had also purchased and shipped 2 American DeSotos for Baba's use. Adi and Pendu drove the 2 women to Satara on 13 July 1947, arriving that afternoon. They were allowed to meet Baba for only 2 minutes. Baba kept them in a separate bungalow named Jal Villa. Goher was told to stay with them as prior to coming, Norina had been seriously ill with a heart condition. In fact, her doctor had advised her not to travel to India. Kaka would cook special food for them, and they were allowed to see Baba in the evening, but again, only for a short time. Narina felt sad about this, as they had been separated from Baba for the past 6 years. Both women had been close to him in the ashrams, but now Baba was keeping them at a distance. In addition, Narina's thought transmissions from Baba given during her public lectures had ended some time ago, leaving her depressed. Narina was uneasy, thinking, "Though we are near Baba, we are kept far away. Perhaps with all our worries and troubles brought with us from the West, Baba is keeping us in a spiritual quarantine. But as age explains, Narina did not know that by keeping her at a distance, Baba was drawing her nearer to him. There is no union without separation. And this time, Baba let Narina experience the pangs of separation while remaining near to him. Pilgrims of this past must writhe in agony. The more the beloved makes them restless, the more he showers on them his mercy. This seeming cruelty is a sign of his mercy, and only those who are able to bear it are fit to stay near him. Elizabeth wrote on 17 July 1947 to Darwin Shore and John Bass, then in Myrtle Beach. Today, Baba went over the maps, pictures, and data about Myrtle Beach. Baba is definitely coming in the near future. Excuse me. So take care of Myrtle Beach properties as you would take care of Baba, and work hard to get rid of mosquitoes. After Narina and Elizabeth had returned to America in 1941, they had energetically begun the work of establishing the Myrtle Beach Center and spreading Meher Baba's name. Before leaving America, Narina had asked Phyllis Frederick whether she had any message for Baba. "Ask him if I can come to India," Phyllis had said. For 2 weeks, Baba kept asking everyone whether he should call Phyllis, but in the end, he said he would send for her later. Some months later, on 14 February 1948, Baba dictated this message to Don for Phyllis. No sense of sacrifice should be too great for the spiritual ideal, and no ideal of this supreme nature in its various aspects was realized without sacrifice. During the daytime at Mutha's bungalow, the women's quarters, Sunamasi was keeping watch by sitting on the veranda. Rano would relieve her during meal times. One afternoon, when Rano was on watch, a man passed by the house singing. Baba clapped, and when Rano went to him, he asked, "Where is that sound coming from?" "Someone is walking on the road singing," she replied. "Why don't you stop him?" Baba asked. "How could I? He was on the road." Even if he were in the sky, you should have stopped him," Baba reprimanded. "Your duty is to see that there is no noise at all." Rano could only apologize and promise not to let it happen again. One day, Baba handed an empty tin to Khorshid, who asked what she was to do with it. Baba replied, "Keep it with you. It will be useful someday." Khorshid could not understand how it could be useful, but Baba did not say anything more. A few days later, Baba assembled all the women before him and dictated, "I want to divide you into groups again. One group will stay at Pimplegown, another at Meherabad." Shall I continue?
Would you like to read another page? Go ahead.
Okay. The Meherabad group will be subdivided. In one group will be Khorshid and Sunamasi. In another, Kitty, Rano, Naja, and Katie. In the third, Saltun and Dala. In the fourth, Mansari, Jerbai, and the Fatties, Jalu, Gulu, and Meher and Meru Dastur. Every group will have separate cooking arrangements. Mera, Mani, Meru, and Walu will stay at Pimplegown. Khorshid then understood that the empty tin Baba had handed her was meant to store foodstuffs now that she would be cooking again, and so she cherished it and kept it in a safe place. There was a hidden reason behind Baba's dividing the women at this time, and probably behind his recent work with Cha-Cha also. The country was about to be partitioned into two parts, India and Pakistan, and violence and civil chaos was breaking out everywhere in India. When the government's plan for partition was announced, Baba snorted in disgust and remarked, "Two parts. It will be divided into 56. Let me scroll down. Ali Shah was an exceptionally pure Chamali must with a gentle and mild temperament. However, toward the middle of July 1947, the must started to express an unusually bad temper and ill mood, and so it became difficult for Baba to work with him. On 14 July, Baba sent him back to Ahmednagar with Pendu and Adi Sr. Ali Shah subsequently was brought to Mehrabad, where Baidal began looking after him. With Ali Shah's departure, the Satara Must ashram came to an end. Baba was to have begun fasting for an extended period from 10 July, but because Narina was to come, he postponed this. Now that she had arrived, Baba began fasting on Monday, 21 July 1947, for 11 days. Narina was put on silence for 40 days, ostensibly so that she could rest and improve her health. On 22nd July, Jal Bai brought a qual from Pune who sang before Baba. At first, the singer was hired to sing before Baba every day for a month. But after 2 days, Baba remarked that because of his present fast, it was too difficult for him to bear the strain of listening to the quali. The qual? Some
Kowal.
qual.
Kowal.
Thank you.
Kowal.
Qual. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Something he normally loved. The singer was therefore sent back to Pune. On Friday, 25th July, 1947, a family of Parsis from Panchgani was allowed to meet Baba. Temuras, is that how you say it? Temuras and Meherbai Satarawala had known of Baba since the days when he first occupied the Panchgani cave in Tiger Valley in 1930, but this was their first meeting. So, let's see.
Maybe I'll read a page and then we could stop. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
They brought their son Koyar, 28, and his wife Rati, 22. The entire Satarawala family became dedicated to Baba. A week later, on Friday, 1st August, Baba broke his fast. 2 days later, Ali Shah was called back to Satara. Now, Baba worked with him for 6 days until the 9th. During this phase of work with Ali Shah, Baba called Erich and asked him to write on the wall, "The month of February in 1948 will be eventful." But Baba did not explain what would happen. On Saturday, 9th August 1947, Baba, accompanied by Erich and Jalbai, left Satara for Pune, driven by Adi Sr. in his Chevrolet. Baba ate at Bindra House and slept at Baba House. Erich on watch near him. He had trouble sleeping and woke at 3 a.m. and walked with Erich to Bindra House, where Baba washed and had breakfast. Along the way, Baba reminisced, pointing out to Erich places from his childhood, such as the spot near his father's tea shop, where he had almost been trampled by a herd of buffaloes, the location of the Cosmopolitan Club, and where he had sat with Babajan. In Cordal, Sai, which is Zoroaster's birthday, it was Zoroaster's birthday, and Meherji, Naraman, Ghani, and the son-in-law, Vishnu, and his cousin, Sushila, all met Baba at Bindra House. Baidul had taken Ali Shah back to Meherabad and joined them in Pune that day. From there, Baba embarked on a very strenuous 5-day must trip, visiting the towns of Sangnamar, Kopargaon, Aurangabad, Yeola, Jalna, Hyderabad, Sholhapur, Varsi, and other places for must work, much of it in pouring rain. They didn't reach Aurangabad until midnight on the 10th. Baba slept at the home of Adi Senior's sister, Piroja, and her husband, Dr. Krishna Ranade. Golmai had also come. Starting the next morning, Baba began a partial fast, 1 cup of tea at 6 a.m., and then no water or food until 6 p.m., despite being on the move continually during the day hunting for musts. This was also a time of very tense political crisis in the country in relation to the coming partition. In Aurangabad on 11th August, in view of the unrest rapidly spreading throughout the country, Baba dictated this message, which he instructed Adi to have printed and sent to his followers. Meher Baba desires all his disciples and devotees, irrespective of caste and creed, to continue to stay, work, and live in territories wherever they may happen to be settled down, be it in India, Pakistan, or any of the native states, and enjoins upon them all to remain loyal and faithful citizens of the government to which they belong. And let's just see if the message continues on the next page.
Okay.
Okay, that really is the end of the message. So we can
Yes.
we could stop reading here.
If you want.
Let's hit the stop record button.
Okay. Let's see. I'll do that. Pause and stop. Hold on.